Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today, we're going to talk about the Magic cards that rocked the Magic world in 2023. So, Happy New Year and all that good jazz. I guess New Year's Eve, technically. Don't forget, before we get started, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comments down below, feed the YouTube algorithm, yada, yada, yada. eBay TCG players in there, links in the description. Hey, you can subscribe. That's the easy, free way. Check us out on Rumble. Also, there's new membership stuff I'm starting up. Live feeds, uh, all that stuff. Get little doodads and knickknacks and all that good stuff you can put in the comment section. Plus live streams and all kinds of other sweet stuff. See the videos early as when I start queuing them up. You can look at them anytime. You ain't got to wait every day. And all the fun things in life. So, please support or tell the ShamWow people to get off their ass and get over here and give me a sponsorship. So anyway, let's get started and talk about these sweet cards that rocked the Magic world of 2023. So, we're going to start off with this little fella here. It's a new one, but a good one. It is Get Lost. So, for a white and one, we have an instant that destroys a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. You get 2 map tokens, which is cool, but when you look at this is almost a disenchant. If it had artifact on here, it'd probably be a mythic. I don't know why it's not a mythic now, to be honest with you. But for 2 mana, you can kill anything. If it's an artifact creature, counts as a creature, you can kill it. So this is a 2 mana instant spell that will kill anything on the battlefield unless it's just a pure artifact. Everything else is fair game. So your opponent gets 2 map tokens. What kind of drawback is that? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's freaking not. Because the map tokens, you spend 1 mana and you get to explore. Yeah, you might get to put a +1/+1 counter on something or draw a land off top your deck if you're really lucky. Well, that's only a benefit to your opponent if they have a creature in play, i.e. this kills creatures. And B, you can't use them if you don't have a creature in play. C, they're tapping mana to draw a card which can only be a land, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, limiting the amount of things they can do in their turn. These are all good things. Like, this is probably one of, and was one of the most underrated cards to come out here recently in the Ixalan set, and it is begun to be seen everywhere, and with good reason. Here shortly, as we start solidifying the standard format, we start rolling into new pro tours and what have you. I think we're going to see this card start being something really special. So, with that being said, let's move on to our next one. Next, we have Agathas Soul Cauldron. God, that's a blurry picture. I'm sorry. This thing has really spiked. It came out kind of pricey, and then people realized how broken this thing was. 2 colorless, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate the abilities of creatures you control. Already good, but creatures you control +1/+1 counters on them have all the abilities of all creatures exiled with Cauldron, and the Cauldron taps to exile a target card from the graveyard. Could even be yours. When a creature card is exiled this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, therefore it gains all the abilities. It only costs 2 to play. This thing is making big waves in some of the older formats and even Commander. This thing, as of today, is still sporting a $50 price tag from Wilds of Eldraine. That is insane. And if that's not insane, think about this. What if this had an anime version? Oh, sweet mother of God. Yeah, so that'd be a pricey card. So this here is another big winner of 2023 to rock the Magic world. So as we get in deep, it's going to keep getting better. Up the Beanstalk. That's right, an uncommon has made the list. Up the Beanstalk was seen in the last Pro Tour, and ever since then, 1 green and 1, when it comes into play, draw a card. It replaces itself. A green and 1 to draw a card is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But whenever you cast something 5 mana value or greater, you draw a card again. So now you get 2 for 1 from nothing other than just casting your cards. It was huge in Modern, Standard. It's seeing Commander play. This is a $5 to $10 card. I don't even know how much the foils are going for. I didn't even look because it was kind of scary. And it's an uncommon. Another breakthrough card from Wilds of Eldraine that's brand new. Heck, this thing has seen bans in some formats. For the love of God, that's insane. This card definitely rocked Magic's world this year. So, moving on, next we have this Behemoth, Atraxa the Grand Unifier. Black, blue, white, green, and 3 colorless for a 7/7 flying with vigilance, haste, death touch, lifelink. And that's all it has for that because the text line ran out of room in the box. Whenever it enters a battlefield, you get to reveal top 10 cards of your library and put a card of every type in your hand. Yeah, so like land, creature, enchantment, artifact, instant, sorcery. What else is there? You can do tribal if you're playing that. There's battles now. Like every time they add a new card type, this is just gonna get better. And how good was it? Well, along with Up the Beanstalk, this seen tons of play in Standard. Um, it fills up your hand. It gives you a hell of a threat. It's taken Commander by storm. It's now taken place in Sneak and Show in Legacy as one of the prime creatures to hit because of the draw ability. And we can argue all day long that this is not better than Grizzlebrand. But I'm telling you, I think it is. But at the same time, now you have an extra card to play. You would play 4 of these and 4 Grizzlebrands. Who cares? So, another big winner and card that rocked Magic in 2023. Next we have Beseech the Mirror. A lot of people aren't really talking about this card, but it made a big splash in Commander and a few other formats here and there. Not real big, but the ability for 4 mana to search any card out of your deck and put it into your hand is pretty good. It is 2 extra mana, so 4 mana is a bit much, but the ability to use the bargain mechanic to cast something 4 or less for free is just insane. This is a card that makes those map tokens come in real handy because those tokens can be sacrificed to this at no extra cost to you to get something 4 or less and put it into play. Why is it good? Because it's all over Commander. I play it in Commander because it is that good. Think about it. You sacrifice a token, play 4 mana, you can get all kinds of sweet things for 4 or less. My favorite thing to get, the Phyrexian Shapeshifter. You know, the 1 blue and 3 artifact creature that comes in as a copy of something on the battlefield. Like, hey, nice Atraxa, let me go get one for 4 mana too. So, yeah, this thing is absurd. And if it's not something you want to cast for free for 4 mana by sacrificing something, for 4 mana, digging through your entire deck and picking anything you want, this includes land, is amazing. It's Demonic Tutor's little brother. So, I think we're going to see a lot more with this coming in Standard as new sets and stuff come out while it's still legal. And in Commander, it's already found a home in any deck that has black in it. Moving on, next we have this sweet little fella, or I should say chick, girl, woman, mom. Get it, mom? March of the... Never mind. So, Shieldred the Apocalypse. 2 black and 2 for a 4/5 Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever the opponent does, they lose 2 life. This insane card is still sporting anywhere from $50 to $75 to $150, depending on the style of card that you want. Obviously, the more fancy you get, the more price tag you're paying for it. But this card's still coming in anywhere from $50 to $75, and it's just insane. So popular, so good. It's a 4-drop. It makes it playable in most formats because 4 mana is a lot for some of the older formats, but not that much. And the ability of older formats to make you draw cards and whatever makes this a popular card, a good card. I mean, you can't Fatal Push it. Well, I mean, technically you could, I guess. So there's lots of good removal that this skirts around, and it's just insane. It's been great in Standard since it came out. It's obviously all over Commander, the older formats, just a powerhouse in Magic in 2023. Next we have these little guys. That's right, Orcish Bow Masters. The card everybody wanted banned the instant it was made. That's right, people thought this was insane for a black and 1 to make a 1/1 that has flash, and whenever your opponent draws a card, you deal 1 damage to them. or any target actually, and you amass one orc, which means you get a orc army. It's a 1/1. Every time it amasses, you add a +1/+1 counter to it. And when it comes into play, you get a 1/1 orc to begin with. Plus, you deal 1 damage. This card slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. It does everything you want in one of the most broken cards of 2023, to the point that this card was modified on Arena because of how good it is. And people have made all kinds of arguments about why it should be banned. We won't get into that. But let's just say Ragavan is still running around. And until you ban Ragavan, I don't want to hear nothing about the Orcish Bow Masters. Because it is the end-all, beat-all test for what is good in 2023. Next, moving on. Also coming in from Lord of the Rings, we have the One Ring. The One Ring that has came out, people thought, oh, it's overpriced, and then they realized, oh, it's not overpriced. This still sports $40 to $50 for this style right here, which is the most generic. And for 4 colorless, it's indestructible. It comes into play. Until your next turn, you can't be targeted by anything or take damage. Beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for every counter on it. When you tap it for nothing, you draw a card, put a counter on it. And when you draw a card, you draw a card for every counter on it. So you tap it first time, you put a counter on it, draw 1 card. Next time, you tap it, put a counter on it. There's 2 counters, you draw 2. But on your upkeep, you take that much damage. But guess what? Since it's legendary, if it gets too big, you can just lay a second one and destroy the first one. Which then means this is back to 0. No, they still can't target you, can't do damage to you, and you get a whole turn of them not doing anything, and you can reset the draw counter, making this card 4 of in any deck and a hard card to deal with, especially being colorless. This card has seen big waves in Commander, Modern, Standard, just absurd. Again, another card from Lord of the Rings that on Arena got nerfed, so that you had to pay a mana to activate it, which is not a big deal, but it is when you only have 4 mana to cast it. So, yeah, this thing is definitely one of the top cards that rocked Magic in 2023. So, with that said, guys, I think that's a good place to end it because the One Ring knows and Sauron's still looking for it. So, these are the cards that rocked Magic in 2023. They all got great prices, big price tags, so expect reprints in 2024. That's my prediction. So, with that said, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Yes, my precious.